Welcome to the Lone Star Ladies podcast, where all things political happen. And we're in Denton County. I'm Darlene Howell, Precinct Chair of Carrollton, 2098.
Sherry Rose, Precinct Chair 2091, Plano.
And Brandy Kennedy, Precinct 2097 in Carrollton. Sherry, you want to tell us what's coming up?
Absolutely. So, very important, Precinct Chair filing is underway and keeps on going until December the 8th. Go to DentonGOP.org and you can find additional information. Thursday, November 13th is Conservative Cup with Pat Fallon, who is our U.S. Rep for the 4th Congressional District, which does include Plano. That is from 9:30 to 10:30 at the Denton County Republican Party office in Denton. On Monday, November 17th, Woody Huffines will be doing his kickoff campaign. He is running for Collin County Commissioner, and that will be at Taverna Rosa at the Lakeside Market. Tuesday, November 18th is Coffee with the Colonel, Larry Brock. He'll be there. He's running for HD 106. That will be at the Six Sips Coffee House in Prosper from 8 to 9 in the morning. Monday, November 24th, from 6 to 8 p.m., you can meet Doc Pete Chambers. He is being sponsored by the Plano County Conservatives. Go to his website at docpetechambers.org for more information. Tuesday, December 2nd is Melinda Preston's kickoff party. She is our current Denton County Chair and she is running for election. So I hope you'll come out for that. It's at Sullivan's Old Town Barbecue at 301 South Mill in Louisville. We hope you will support Melinda.
Yes.
And Saturday, January 10th, I'm going to keep reminding you about this all the way through till January 10th at the Hyatt DFW, the DCRP's biggest fundraiser, the Lincoln Reagan Dinner. If you have any questions and to purchase tickets, go to DentonGOP.org. That pretty much catches us up.
Thank you, Sherry.
Absolutely.
Today we are interviewing Skylar Smith of Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA. He is currently the founding president of the Collin College chapter on the Wiley campus, and he's the vice president of the whole Collin County College chapter.
Say that 5 times.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he joined Turning Point to help make a difference in the lives of college students through teaching them American history, law, and the importance of knowing about your government. He also teaches members of his chapter how to debate and have discussion around political issues. He's 25 years old and is encouraging more students to be involved with Turning Point, especially now given our dividing climate. He believes discussion between left and right is more important than ever. He is a political science major and a corporate management minor. He has been involved in politics since 2018. Thank you. Skylar's and Turning Point's goals are to grow the chapter by 50% by the end of the year. Thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what is the mission of Turning Point in general?
Well, the mission of Turning Point in general is to create free speech campuses all across America where individuals are able to express themselves, politically and even religiously, and to basically carry on discussion between students from both the right and the left. And Turning Point also seeks to educate on American history, law, government, and basically social issues.
Awesome. How many chapters are there in North Texas or Collin County, and then how many nationally?
So in Collin College, we have 4. We have Frisco, we have Plano, we have McKinney, and then we have mine, Wiley. And then we have 900 high school chapters in Club America, and then we have 800 college chapters so far, though we have had over 60,000 requests to create new chapters.
Wow.
And that's since 9/10
Yes.
when Charlie was killed.
Yes.
So in Denton County alone, or Collin County, sorry, you're in Collin County. How many total in just Collin County?
So in Collin County, As far as I'm aware, we are the only chapters in Collin County as for high school. However, all across North Texas, that number is way larger because I know we have the UNT chapter in Denton.
Right.
We have the MSU chapter. We also have other like the A&M East Texas one up there in Hunt County.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
So how are they organized? So you have high school chapters and then you have college chapters.
Yes.
And then when you graduate from college,
There is an alumni association where you continue to help out Turning Point and everything. Basically, you can also, perhaps if you get big enough, become a speaker on one of the college campuses that you actually helped to found a chapter of.
Okay, that's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, how long has your chapter been around?
Since March 16th all the way to currently, that's how long the Wiley chapter has been there. I am actually the first president of any campus chapter in Collin College.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. And how many people are in your chapter?
The total would be roughly 35 out of the 50 total members on the Collin College Turning Point chapter.
How many students are actually at the Wiley campus?
The total is 35 at mine, but 50 overall.
No, I mean total like number of students in that.
Oh,
Do you know?
I would say around 5,000.
Okay. Okay.
Are you still seeing people wanting to open another chapter, to start another chapter?
Oh yeah. Well, they keep getting more and more up there at headquarters. They get more and more requests, and all across North Texas, a lot of high schools are starting to create one. There was a girl that wanted to create one in Salina. There was one in Farmersville. There's tons of different people, even on Collin College, that want to create different chapters. We do not have one in the Allen. We do not have one in the Farmersville or the Salina campuses.
So if somebody wanted to start one, they just would call the corporate offices or whatever and just tell them that's what they wanted to do, and then they just check to see if anyone else already has one or something, and then...
Yes, Paige would know. Paige Rasmussen, she handles the college chapters. And then Emily Bryce is the one who handles the high school.
Okay.
Well, how many events have you hosted, and tell us a little bit about them?
I have done 2 recruiting events and have had nothing but positive feedback from all of them. And on the Frisco and the Plano and the McKinney campuses, there's been a total of, I believe, 2 events done between both of them.
Now, are you on campus like setting up like a table, kind of like Charlie Kirk did? You know, are you setting up the table and recruiting that way, or is that just like a discussion back and forth?
Basically, that is an entirely separate one from the recruiting. What we do is, while others can be recruited through the tabling, oftentimes what I've just resorted to doing was recruiting where we kind of set up in front of the student center where everyone goes through, and then we get people that way, and the placing of flyers on campuses.
Have you seen like an uptick in people wanting to join the chapter?
Yes. Yeah. We have been growing, and we grow every single day. The number that I gave out for 50 might actually be outdated by now.
So
that's just what I have been hearing from.
What do you do, like, do you have events on a weekly basis just with the chapter people, or, you know, what do you do in your chapter?
We try to do things weekly. We just recently became a registered student organization, or an RSO. So what that gives us the ability to do is now we are an official club on campus. Okay. So now we are able to have an easier time getting permission for running events, and we are also able to become more well-known. Like, for instance, I'm going to be putting up posters to try to get more officers, to try to get more members. And we have one big email that everybody can contact through one of those flyers.
So, like, do you meet as a group as well, just to discuss issues that are coming up? Or
yes. We get a study room on the Plano campus because that's where we are based out of, as our teacher advisor is located on the Plano campus. That's how the Collin College deals with its clubs. Is wherever your teacher advisor is, you are based out of there. Some Focus, I believe, are based out of McKinney because that's where their teacher advisor is based out of.
What kind of events does the National Turning Point have?
The National Turning Point, they have AmFest, which is America Fest, where chapters come together every December, and they all go there. This and to Phoenix. The second one is the most well-known, but there are numerous, and I'll get through all the ones that I've actually attended. The CLS and SAS, which is Chapter Leadership Summit and the Student Action Summit. Those are also more geared towards how you run your chapters. But AmFest is where everybody comes together, and they have one huge event, which is actually for the first time ever sold out. And the venue that we usually have, it does not hold everyone.
When is the event?
The event is the 18th through the 21st of December. And I am flying there a day early and a day after.
Oh, nice.
And
Do you ever communicate with the other counties?
Yes, I am actually in contact with the president of the UNT chapter, the president of the East Texas A&M chapter, the one all the way up there in UT Dallas. I know the vice president of that one. Basically, what we do is we network. We create all this like web of communication where we can get speakers, and they go on like kind of these trips between different college campuses, and then they do speaking events. Like for instance, if I could get Keith Self to come and visit, that would be an example of that. And then he wouldn't just stop at one campus, but then he would go to others.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So does TPUSA use the college chapters to go down to the high school level to recruit?
Yes, that is possible. Yes, because both of them can work together. The high school, however, is managed by, as I mentioned, Emily rather than Paige.
And what is that called?
Club America.
Club America.
Yes, there's Turning Point USA, which is the college one, and then there's Club America, which is the high school one.
Okay.
Which was started 3 years ago and actually has more chapters on it than the college one, which has been around since 2012.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's great. That's a long time.
That is a long time.
Yeah.
Can Turning Point endorse candidates?
No, we are a 501c3 organization. We cannot endorse anyone, or else we may lose our tax status. But individually, I can endorse anyone. If I said that I endorse Keith Self, or if I go ahead and say I endorse Carissa Richardson, then I could absolutely do that, and I can show up and speak at events, but we have to make sure these are not Turning Point events. Like if I'm going to be supporting Woody Huffines for the Collin County Commissioner, to take over Cheryl Williams' position, I have to go ahead and explicitly say, this is me doing this. Right. And everyone that I invite are all going to come as individuals, but we cannot do a Turning Point chapter. However, I can wear like basically patriotic gear. It's just that I cannot actually wear any TPUSA stuff, as that could pose trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Can TPUSA be endorsed by a political party?
Oh, absolutely. So the Collin County GOP has actually created a Turning Point committee. And I was actually the one who announced its creation.
Oh,
I was invited on stage and I was able to speak. In fact, my profile on the group name is literally me announcing it.
That's great.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. And on top of that, all these different candidates, they are giving their support for TPUSA, although we obviously can't give that back unless as individuals. Mm-hmm. So
what is your future goal with your chapter? What are you, a sophomore, junior?
I am actually about to leave Collin College, so my duty is to build up the chapter to make sure that all the officers are educated enough to lead it, that they're in contact with Paige, that they're in contact with the others, and then go ahead and kind of educate them on how to run events. I want to run at least one event where they help me run it, and then when after that's done, then we can in the future, I hope to see them again on campus when I eventually am invited to speak.
That is awesome. Well, we're so lucky that you're doing this because, this is the first time I've actually talked to a chapter for TPUSA. So, I mean, that's fantastic.
Are there any dues?
There can be, depending on if we're going to be running events, we can take donations. We can also go through the school and we can gain funding that way, where we can get bonds and we can get loans for a student account. And that will allow for us to take trips, like for instance to AmFest. It will allow for us to actually hire different vendors. Like for instance, we could have a petting zoo, we could have a dunk tank, we could have a pull-up bar. We could do pretty much any event if we have the funding from the school and from the public.
When TPUSA was at A&M, I think over the summer, Do they contact all of the colleges that have a chapter around the area and kind of say, hey, we want you to come
Oh yeah.
down and
Yeah, so we all work together. We're not like isolated little islands. We all work together. Like my chapter is very unique in the sense that we are 4 campuses. Each and every one of them have their own different chapters, and they all work together as one big chapter. That is something that you don't really see among Turning Point. In fact, we're pretty unique. Usually, there is only one campus with one chapter. Like UNT has one chapter, MSU has one chapter, UT Arlington has one chapter. Basically, all TCU has one chapter. They all have usually only one campus with one chapter. But we are kind of like the golden standard for how we work together, despite having different campuses.
So how do you reach the kids that aren't in college?
Well, we go to events and we start, and basically we go to speaking events. We go to also put out advertisements. We also do a number of other things in order to reach different students. That's how TPUSA does it, is you can run, not that we have enough money for, but we could actually run an ad on TV to do recruiting for Collin College. Or we could do fun trips like to baseball games and everything else to get
that's a good
awareness.
idea.
That's something that I'm going to
Yeah.
actually float to the other officers.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to come to one of your events, can anybody come?
Yes. However, to be a member of the campus, you have to be a member of the actual Turning Point, you have to be a student. I had raised the question of, can people who are not students become officers? The answer was no.
Yeah.
So but anybody can come to those events. If I'm hosting, again, Keith Self or Carissa Richardson or anyone, I can go ahead and do that and invite anyone who wants to come. Because on each and every one of the Collin campuses, we have a conference center that can be rented out. And since we are a club, that has become so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I might want to come and listen to some of these
I
people.
know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I already have a whole list.
Yeah.
I could probably get one speaker in before the end of the year, but no promises, because Turning Point may or may not approve them. We have to go through them, of course.
Well, thank you so much, Skylar.
Of course.
Is there anything you'd like to say, or any more questions we have?
Basically, I would like to end on it began with this entire college chapter began with me, and it has outgrown me. I'm very glad to have seen it really grow, because I went to CLS and SAS in Florida, and it was just me. And then at the very end, it's something that will outlast me. I'm very happy to see that. I'm very happy to see what everybody's been doing. And in the future, when I'm fully graduated, I aim to see everyone, because I may or may not be speaking at one of the events in AmFest if I can get big enough in my online presence. And I look forward to seeing what Turning Point does in the future. I'm very glad that my generation really wants to create all these different chapters.
Yeah,
like the statistic of 80,000 chapters that request to create, that's most likely an outdated one. All across, even in states that are very blue, like Oregon and Washington and California, New York, we can't stop making them. And another thing is, if your campus if you're having trouble on your campus finding a professor who is willing to host your Turning Point, go to the ROTC, because that's how UNT's did it. Because you have to have, in order to have any power on any of the campuses, you need to have a teacher advisor. Yeah. Because once you have that, and you have all of your officers, all your ducks in a row, they can't deny it, and then you can start running events, and they have to approve it. That's how you're going to have to do it. So that's pretty much the advice that I have. But I was very lucky, because Collin College, all of the board of trustees are Republican. All of them are. So we were easily able to. Ours has been very easy to create.
Yeah.
And not only that, but there is our teacher advisor is actually the co-host of the Preacher Zone, which is the podcast that I appeared earlier in the year. That basically was the first time that any Turning Point chapter has been from Collin College has been on a podcast before. Oh. So when I eventually create mine, I'm going to, again, be very lavish with my praise to Turning Point, because that's something that we have to do, is support these new chapters and give that aid to the students who require it the most. Nice. Because while we were able to create a turning point committee in Collin County, most counties do not have that. So we need to have one in Hunt County, we need to have one in Denton County, we need to have one in Dallas County, and one in Tarrant County. We have to all over support these different chapters that are being created, because this is the future. It doesn't matter if it's North Central Texas College, which is where I got my associates from. It doesn't matter if it's from a big college like A&M, College Station. We need to support them. You know, no matter how small, no matter how big, they need us.
Do you have any political aspirations?
I do. I'm trying to graduate first before that, though.
Yeah, okay, good. We're gonna keep an eye on you.
Yes,
if you know me and you've talked to me, you know what position I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Let's just say that it is a city position.
Very nice.
Right.
That's
So-
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Do you find that a lot of the kids that are in your group or any groups, do they have political aspirations? Or
many of them do. However, many of them are still like, for instance, Caden, the president of the Collin College chapter as a whole, he has to get through school, but he just might. He might.
Yeah.
And Cody, the
we'll help
president
you.
of Plano, the president of Plano, he might very well go on to be a pastor. And
Oh,
and
that's
he wants to
wonderful.
do things like prison ministry. He wants to do a bunch of things, and I'm all for my brother in Christ going and
Yes,
helping.
we love
And I
Jesus.
know people who there's a precinct chair who actually does prison ministry that I'm going to set him up with. I'm going to help them in any way I can to reach their aspirations. If they have political aspirations, if they don't, that's fine. I think Kenny wanted to go to law school, but I have no idea. But I will ask him, and I will give that clarification.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just so fun watching y'all do these
Yes,
things. I mean,
yes.
it does my heart.
Yes, we
Yes.
need more young people to start getting involved.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. We were just talking earlier about the lack of voters at elections. So I'm glad that we have a new generation coming up that thinks that politics is important and loves their country. And
This is the first generation I've heard of between the boomers all the way to mine the Zoomers that actually we're the most religious. We're also the most conservative since the Barry Goldwater generation, the Reagan generation. So
Yeah, gotta keep going.
yeah, it's awesome.
that was announced at CLS and SAS in Florida when we went there to Tampa.
Fantastic. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us. We
Yes.
really appreciate
And
this.
I will give you guys a list of anyone who wants political aspirations. If I
Yes.
made a mistake about people's aspirations, I will most absolutely give clarification.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
we appreciate
thank
it.
you.
And if we can help, let us know.
Yeah. That was a great interview with Skylar. We just enjoyed him so much, and we're just happy that the younger generation is getting involved in politics. And of
Absolutely.
course, Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA. It's a phenomenal group, and we're gonna go to. We're not in college, but we're gonna go to some of these
We'll go
events.
support him.
That's right.
Yeah. We thank Skylar.
Absolutely. Remember, you can follow us on OBBM, Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble.
And if you have any ideas or suggestions, you can find us at mylonestarladies@myyahoo.com.
Thank you for being here.
It's been great.
And God bless you.
And yeehaw!
Yeah.